Morning, guys. Welcome back to Jalen Unplugged. My name is Jalen Dawes, of course, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the week I've been having, and it's all been pretty much good, honestly. It's just been a lot of eye-opening scenarios, and I would definitely say it's more of testaments more than anything. But I've just been realizing a lot this week, and not to mention, this week has been a pretty good trading week for me, even though I've only taken one trade this entire week, just one. And that trade happened on Wednesday, actually, because today is Friday. So that trade happened on Wednesday, man, and I've only taken one trade all week. I will go back and show you guys that I did only take one trade, and that I made $4,700 in one single trade. And I promise you, this is all God's work, and it's just been me staying disciplined and staying to the strategy that He aligned me with. And man, it's gonna be life-changing once I really buckle down and throw some money at this. It's really gonna be life-changing. So I just wanted to come on here, start the morning off right. So let's go ahead and jump onto the computer. Real quick, guys, Jalen from the future here. I'm editing a video now, and I realized that I was leaking a lot of my information on Top Step, so it's going to be real choppy when it gets to that portion of the video. I just want to make sure that my account stays safe and that no one's able to steal it. So when we get there, that is why it's going to be all over the place and super jumpy, super choppy, but the rest of it should be good. And I hope you guys like the new glasses. New video will be coming out on this on my second channel, but it's going to be a little while. So yeah, so now let's get on the computer here. Deuces. All right, guys, so let's go over the trade that made me the $4,700. So we're gonna go over the trade first, and then I'll go back and we'll look at the Top Step chart, so you guys can see that I actually did make that in one trade, not multiple trades. So let's go over this real quick. Let's close that, close that, close that. All right, so we got just the chart here. So let's go back to, what was it, Wednesday? Yeah, no, that was after. Okay, here. So this here is the trade that we took to make the 4,700. And I'll kind of explain what I was looking at and what I did. So let me shorten this because I didn't get, oh, come on. Did I lock it? I think I did. Yeah, unlock. There we go. All right. So we got out about here. Shorten all this. All right, so actually let me close the second one. No, it's fine. All right, so when I got on that morning, let me back up so you guys can see what I see. So when I got on, we were about here. So none of this was here yet. Let's close, remove. All right, and delete this. Okay, so to my eyes, we are on a downtrend, but now I see an uptrend forming. So I'm going to be looking for it to break out of this here, because you can kind of see, let's see here, we have the lowest point, and it kind of looks like we're moving like that. So that looks like a new trend forming, but it's not 100% yet because this candle hasn't finished printing. So let's remove that. So I'm just going to be patiently waiting for this trend line here to break and probably come up to retest this bigger overall trend that I see here. So it looks like we're on an uptrend, but we're currently on a downtrend. So I'm going to be looking for it to come back up. Oh, that's just another test that I was doing. So I'm going to be looking for it to come back up to test this line here to see if it's going to shoot back down or if it's going to continue to rally up. But because we're so far and it looks like we're about to break this downtrend, I was waiting for it to pull back up to hit this line for the uptrend. So when I decided to finally get in, we were about, so I seen it drop again after testing it. So you can see here, it tested the trend line and then shot back down. So I seen it here, bounce off of this line that I had marked for this trade over here. And this is why I normally don't delete my zones or my lines. I will go ahead and delete it to restart the week, but for the entirety of the week, I normally leave my chart looking like this. It makes sense to me, so that's why it's all still here, because it still makes sense, because we're not done with the week yet. So I've seen it bounce off of this line here, so now I'm waiting for it to, well, anticipating for it to break this trend line. So I'm just going to wait for it. So here we came up to touch it, and it looks really strong bullish candle. We got about here, and now it's slowing down now that it's breaking through it. And now we have our downtrend forming. So what I was looking at now is it going to come back down and break this candle, or is it going to stay strong and keep pushing forward? So I was waiting to see what it was going to do here once we broke out. So it came back down, it's testing the line, and boom, it's going up again. So now I'm getting curious, and I'm like, maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to get in here and catch that ride up. So I decided to mark this up as if I were in the trade starting here at the break of this candle and using the bottom of the candle for my stop. And then I always look for at least a 1 to 3, which is about here. And we're going to spread this out because we don't know how far it's going to go. And then, so now I'm looking to get in. And no, actually, I want to say I got in on this bullish candle. I think I did, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say I did get in on a bullish candle, but whatever. All right, so let's basically say we got in here on a bullish candle, right? On the break of that. Let's go back real quick because I can do something. All right, so let's go back to the bullish candle we had. All right, bam, perfect. So now let's say that we're looking for buys, right? So when I set this up, put my stops here, my TP here. So now I'm risking $450 to make $1,200. But because I'm so confident in my strategy, I'm willing to risk a little bit more than $450. So I ended up risking, so I think I started with just the $450. And once I seen it really rallying up, I added more lots. I mean more contracts, because this is futures. So I think I started with just the one, but just because, oh crap, what'd I do? Oh, I hit sell, crap. See, you also don't want to do that. You got to make sure you're on point, you're paying attention to what you're doing. So we're looking for buys here, sorry. So we're putting our stops here on the bottom and TP up here at the top. So let's go ahead and just add the 4 lots, because I ended up adding 4 lots in total. That's kind of why I went over my my target. So basically, I ended up risking $1,800 to make what I made. So we got up to, so we got here. I got in at this candle because I seen that it was forming a structure. It made a higher low, sorry. So it made a higher low. The higher low was down here because it dropped, came, and then boom. So it looks like what it's doing is setting up on this thing here on the trend line just to shoot up. So I got in here, and I think this was about like 3 a.m. or something like that, something crazy. And so bam, look at that, instantly into profit on one candle. So I got super confident. I'd entered originally with 2 lots. I entered in with 2 contracts. I keep saying that. So I originally entered with 2 contracts. So once I seen it come up into this section here, I added on the additional 2. So I only traded 2 contracts at first, but once I seen it break into this zone here, that it was just gonna keep going, because as you see, once we break into the zone, it kept going up. Once we broke into the zone, it kept going down. So this zone here is basically like an accelerator in my mind. That's what I look at this zone here as, an accelerator. Once we break it in from either part of the zone. So once we got into this zone, I ended up adding an additional two contracts, but I put my stops here and aimed for a 1 to 3. Once again, as you see, it keeps hitting 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3. I always aim for a 1 to 3. So if it's not a 1 to 3, it doesn't make sense for me. I'm probably not going to take it. So here we got in again, aiming for a 1 to 3 with 2 more contracts. So now we're at our full $1,800, or it would have been cheaper than that. But I normally don't risk too much. That's why I'm willing to always take the risk that I take. So it probably was like another $500 to add on to this at the time, because it based off the pips and all the different complicated stuff. So once we got there, I added another 2 contracts on, and look at this, it just kept going up. This is why I was so confident. There's not one bearish candle in here yet. You see it starts to slow down, but then boom, it keeps going. Oh, wrong button. It just keeps going. And I believe about here, I was starting to look to get out, because I watched it drop down here. But as you see, we have 2 wicks here. This is a rejection zone right here. So it's going to reject off of that. In my head, it was going to reject off of that and keep going up. But I had my stop loss, actually on both of them. I was playing around my stop loss a lot. So let's use this as a stop loss. Let's make it red real quick. Ooh. Change the color to red. Why didn't you work? Oh, the text is red. My bad. All right, bam. So I had my stops about here, because that would have been the farthest I would have been able to. I'd have been willing to lose that much more, just to cut my losses, and bam, that would have been it. So I moved my stops up to here into profit. So if I would have lost, I would have won still, but I would have lost and only came out with $1,800 instead of the $4,000. This is why I play with my stops. So I got back in, and so I'm paying attention to it, and it's just keep rallying. And then I believe I set a target here because I started to realize that I was going to make too much money. My target for the combine that I'm doing is only 4,500, but I just started to realize that, hey, I'm probably going to go over my quota, so I wanted to short it. So I closed one contract here for a profit of like 1,200 or something like that. We'll see it later. And then I kept staying in it, set my TP, bam, smack TP. Only one bearish candle, and it's barely bearish because it looks like a bullish candle. If you would have, in your head, if you would have switched that to green, it would still make sense. So to me, it's still a bullish candle. It doesn't look bearish to me. So we're all good there. So let's go over to Top Step here. Show you guys. I'm not lying. I made 4,700. It was only one trade, because you see my best day of total profit, 100%. And it was 4,700 in one single day. Days complete. I literally traded one day. That is it. One trade. All I do is stick to my plan, and that is it. If it's not there, I don't trade. So it's literally what it is. And you can see here. Yeah, see, so my first one, where is it? Oh, right here. So it's $1,500 for that first contract that I closed. I won $1,500 on that first contract, and I left the other 3 running, because it was I don't know why it says 8 contracts total. It was only 4 contracts. I don't know, but yeah, it's super choppy, as you can see. Let's go into the chart. So like there's no. I was looking at this, and it's kind of like all over the place, bro. Like, why are you dropping so far down when we were bouncing off of this zone here? But it's whatever. So today's Friday. There's no telling what it's going to do, whether it's going to be going up or down. So that's why I'm not trading. And just so you guys can see my results from back testing. But as you guys see, like, I didn't take this setup. I just marked it up as if I were to take it, entering on this candle here. And look, bam, that would have been even more money. Let's do this replay real quick. Let's see how much money we would have made here. So next candle. All right, so let's see here. If we were to sell, right? And let's just say we just do one contract. We don't plan on making no more. We just want to make the one contract. One contract. I'm risking $480. $480 to win 2,560. But anyways, this is what I was looking at, right? When I was marking this up, I was doing live back testing because I was going to work. So I marked this up as if I were taking a trade, left everything how it was, and then just went on about my day, right? And look at this. Literally, it went back up, got close to my my stop loss, and then it bounced right back off of that zone that I marked up. This is exactly why I mark my zones and I leave them for the week. Because this is a zone that I had marked up from that trade that I just showed you guys. And this is days later. So, yeah, this is why I do what I do. Come on. All right. And then, so we back into profit. And here we go. There we go. So, bam, smack TP. Like, guys, that is $2,000. You see it. That is $2,000 right there, guys. Like, it's stupidly easy once you learn how to trade. And I think I even got more. Oh, look at this one. This would have smacked TP too. Even though it sat in drawdown for a bit, but still smacked TP. I got in on this candle saying that it was going to drop. Let's do a replay. No. Okay, right here. So let's go back into the replay. Let's actually, no, gotta go forward. There we go. All right, so let's say we enter on this candle, looking for a sell, and let's just do one contract again, right? So this one, we're risking a little bit more. Oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Whatever, I don't need that no more. I'm about to delete all this stuff anyway. All right, so let's say, right, on one contract, we're risking $870, but our target, if we hit it, we get $2,000. That's a little bit smaller for me, honestly. I would have probably preferred to, but also with us missing the entry a little bit, or let's move our entry here. All right, so with us missing this a little bit, we would have probably got it in around there, I think. But this is also why I didn't take this trade. I was just marking it up because it's not the prettiest trade. It's really not the prettiest. This is why I didn't take it. But yeah, let's go. Let's see. So we sit in drawdown for a couple minutes. Sit in drawdown and then boom, out of drawdown and smacking TP. That's another $2,000, guys, bro. Like I can't make this up, bro. What was this? Was this the trade I just showed you guys? Yeah, that was the trade I just showed you guys. Oh, let's go back a little even further. So right here, I have another trade here marked up. Looking for sales, right? If I would have got it on that candle, I didn't take this trade just because you see, like, I don't even have it marked the way I normally have everything marked. I just kind of left it there, and I was just looking at it, I was like, huh, okay, off of that candle, it has to go down. So I marked it, and let's do our bar replay, because when I seen it, it was about here when I first looked at the chart. And then to our next candle. Next candle again. All right, so our entry candle. So if we were to look for sales here, right? Stop loss right above. And this is why I add multiple contracts. So look at this. We're risking $190 for $1,000 on a 1 to 5. Like, you see, like, bro. So obviously I would add another contract because I'm willing to risk more. I would risk at least the 500. And look at that, $3,000 if we win. Which 9 times out of 10 we win. Look at this. Look at this. Bam, smack TP. $3,000. Bro, this strategy is crazy. Even this one, I didn't take this trade. I posted this trade on my Instagram. I didn't take this trade because of how it printed this candle. I was expecting this candle to be made over here, but it didn't. It made this big candle, and I wasn't waiting for it to go back up because this was around 12 o'clock. I don't trade after 12 o'clock. But if I were to take this trade, right, let's just use our bar replay, and we get in here, right? So, bam, next candle. Bam, next candle. All right, so let's say our entry was... Our entry would have been up here because I was waiting for the wick off of here. So I would have been up here, right? So let's just say whatever. Even if we were to take the trade from where it's at. Risking 400. What is this? It would have been a 1 to 3. But it's not just because of where it's at. It would have been a 1 to 3 if I would have taken it off the wick up here and then it drops down. But you guys get the gist of it. So anyways, look at that. Still would have won. That would have still been $400 in profit. I would have made $400 in one day and I'd have been done. Bro, come on, guys. Why are we not all trading? And look, it kept dropping. It kept dropping. So technically, I could have gotten my 1 to 3. So let's do it like this, right? So let's mark out my 1 to 3. Let's go back. Come on, computer. Next candle. All right. So let's say we got in here for a sell. Stop loss right above here. TP coming down here. Looking for a 1 to 3. So 1,500, right? $400. I'm okay with risking that $400, right? So we're here. This is what we're looking at. Next candle. Next candle. Here, I would have been like, okay, we're breaking into another zone. Let me add another contract, right? I would have added probably 2 more contracts, right? And I would have just adjusted my stop loss. So my stop loss, I would have moved it to here. So now I'm only risking $1,000. So now I'm only risking $1,000 to make $4,000. We're at $300 already in profit. So we're not losing anything at this very moment. We're not losing anything. We're only gaining. And then boom, it came back up a little bit. And it just continues to drop. At this point, my stop loss would have been a little under break even. Because we have to remember, we entered here, but we also entered up here as well. So now our stops are coming in to profit. So we're almost at the point of losing absolutely nothing in this trade. And we're just going to wait for another pull down. And bam, I would have been about here. So now we're at least going to get $200 if this were to reverse and hit our stop loss. We're going to get at least $200. It would have been a little bit more, but it's not going to show accurate just because this is a replay. It's not live. But bam, that would have been $4,000, which is basically what I did on Wednesday. But this was a trade that I didn't even take. If I would have taken this trade, I'd have been done with my combine already. But for the simple fact that this candle wasn't what I was looking for, and it was outside of my trading zone, I wasn't trading, and I didn't really care. But I'm happy to know that if I were to take it, I'd have been $4,000 richer, essentially. But yeah, so that's going to do it for today, guys. I just wanted to go over my trading day that I had on Wednesday and kind of run you guys down with kind of my mindset going into this and my journey so far. It's kind of like an update video on my trading strategy and my trading overall. Not so much of a just a day in the life vlogging type video. But yeah, so my name is Jalen, guys. This is Jalen Unplugged, and please, guys, stay unplugged out there, bro. Deuces.